Hey everyone, long overdue return for this series of talking about the favourite albums of each decade in my collection. The 1980s, I'm a big 70s guy and I'm a big 90s guy. I've mentioned that a lot. But I think more recently I've discovered a lot of 80s albums that I really have taken to. So I think the decade has sort of grown on me a bit. That being said, um, it was a lot easier to pick my albums because there wasn't as much to choose from in my collection. In fact, we're going to start off with two albums that I've already shown on the channel at a record fair haul, which is pretty cool. So my number 10 is going to be Songs from the Big Chair by Tears for Fears. This is an amazing album. Head Over Heels, Everyone Wants to Rule the World, Shout, Broken, The Working Hour. Yeah, just every song on here is great. Iconic pop from Tears for Fears. And then my number 9 is going to be, so that was 85 Songs from the Big Chair. 1988, we got another one I picked up at the fair, which is really underrated album, Workers' Playtime by Billy Bragg. If you're a fan of either the Smiths or Bob Dylan, there's probably something in here for you. You know, lyrically, he's astounding. Waiting for the Great Leap Forwards is a classic. Must I Paint You a Picture, Little Time Bomb, The Price I Pay, The Short Answer. There's just some fantastic songs. A really lovely album. Really nice instrumentation. And if you haven't heard it, I would recommend it. The songwriting is some of the best I've ever heard. Number 8. Yes, 8. We're going back to 1984 with one of my favourite artists, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. I also own The River, but The River just missed the list for me. You got the title track, Born in the USA. You got I'm on Fire, Dancing in the Dark. I love Cover Me. I think that's a really underrated track. But I mean, it's Born in the USA. I mean, it's just absolutely classic in every sense of the word. Then my number 7 is a band that I've talked about a lot on the channel as well. The Replacements with Let It Be. Did a whole video about them. I'd recommend you check it out if you want to get into them. Yeah, I've talked about this album before. I Will Dare, Androgynous, Unsatisfied, seen your video. Great, catchy, sort of snappy power pop. So that was 1984, the same year as Born in the USA. Really good year for music for 1984. We're not done with 1984. You will see. So then my number 6, Talk Talk, Spirit of Eden. Very different album. Very jazzy, very mellow, very sad. A lot of really powerful songs in here. The opening side, sort of the 3 songs flow into each other. It's sort of like a suite. The Rainbow, Eden, and Desire. I Believe in You is a really touching track. Of course, they're mostly known for their synth pop work, but this is an absolute, you could almost call it prog, to be honest. And yeah, it's post-rock is the official genre it's given, but yeah, it's really cool. It's very jazzy, very stripped back. If you want to just listen to one song from that album, I'd recommend I Believe in You. That's an absolute classic. Then we're back with The Replacements. Pleased to Meet Me comes in at number 5. Got 2 of their absolute best songs in Alex Chilton and Can't Hardly Wait, and Nightclub Jitters, and The Ledge, and Skyway. Just some brilliant songs on here. Yeah, I just think it's great. Obviously, I still don't own a copy of Tim, which is my favourite Replacements album. Will probably be near the top of this list. But that is the favourite Replacements album of mine that I own, and I will work on getting a copy of Tim. I will. Number 4, I believe... Pleased to Meet You was 87 and Spirit of Eden was 88. There we go. I believe that the top 4 artists here I haven't talked about on the channel yet, which is exciting because I love all of them very dearly. My number 4 is my favourite album of 1984, which might be the best year of the 80s. It's either 84 or 85 for me. And it is The Smiths with Hatful of Hollow. It's technically a compilation album. Really cool. In a gatefold there. William, It Was Really Nothing, This Charming Man, How Soon Is Now, Still Ill, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, Girl Afraid, Back to the Old House, Reel Around the Fountain, Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. Just an absolutely stacked track list. I think you know, for me, a big stumbling block was Morrissey's vocal style. Once you get over that, this is an album that everyone should hear. I think it's absolutely incredible. And again, I guess the 80s is really strong because it hasn't even made my top 3. My number 3 is going to be Hounds of Love by Kate Bush. This is my favourite album of 1985. Another really strong year. Running Up That Hill, Hounds of Love, The Big Sky, Mother Stands for Comfort, Cloud Busting, all on the A side. Unbelievable. The B side is a lot weirder. It's less poppy. It's And Dream of Sheep, Under Ice, Jigger Life, Morning Fog are all great songs. And yeah, I think Hounds of Love is just an all-time classic in the pop genre, the art pop genre, should I say. And then my top 2. Two extremely acclaimed albums. I definitely think the magnum opus of both of these bands. My number 2, probably a top 5 band of all time for me. Talking Heads, Remain in Light. Of course, everybody knows Once in a Lifetime, but you've also got Born Under Punches, Houses in Motion, Cross-Eyed and Painless. I mean, every track on here is just brilliant. Such a weird, sort of strange album. And yeah, the sort of weird rhythms and the sort of idiosyncrasies of David Byrne really on show there. And then my number 1, top 10 album of all time, maybe a top 5 album of all time. That'd be an interesting list to do one day. Disintegration by The Cure is my favourite album of the 1980s. I think this is an album that sort of speaks for itself. Plainsong, Pictures of You, Love Song, Lullaby, Fascination Street, Prayers for Rain, the title track, Homesick. It's just unbelievably good. It is gothy, but it's so catchy and moody, and it's got a great atmosphere. The synths, the guitar, the bass, Robert Smith's vocals. It is a perfect album, and it's definitely an essential listen for anyone. So just to run back through the list, Songs from the Big Chair by Tears for Fears at 10, Workers' Playtime by Billy Bragg at 9, Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen at 8, Let It Be by The Replacements at 7, Spirit of Eden by Talk Talk at 6, Pleased to Meet Me by The Replacements at 5, Hat Full of Hollow by The Smiths at 4, Hounds of Love by Kate Bush at 3, Remain in Light by Talking Heads at 2, Disintegration by The Cure at 1. So feel free to share your favourite 80s albums, and I'll catch you later.